For the first time since November, fewer than 1,000 people are in the hospital with the coronavirus, 618 more people testing positive. The statewide positivity rate dropping is now closer to 4%. Now, starting tomorrow, some restrictions will be lifted in Baltimore City. The 1-hour time limit for patron at bars and restaurants will end. Dining capacities is still at 25% indoors and 50% outdoors. Customers will have to still sign in, and amateur sports can resume as well as live performance. About 600 more people tested positive for COVID-19 in Maryland, and for the first time since November 2nd, the positivity test rate has dropped below 4%. The state's next mass vaccination sites open on Thursday at M&T Bank Stadium. "662 Marylanders tested positive for the coronavirus on the last day. Hospitalizations and the positivity rate are down slightly. 30 more people have died." There are large radical disparities when it comes to who is getting the coronavirus vaccine. Here in Baltimore City, more than 62% of the population is black, but only about 32% of the vaccinations have been given to the black community. Maryland officials says there are multiple factors contributing to mass equity. In addition to mass vaccination sites, local leaders are turning to churches for help. The M&T Bank Stadium mass vaccination sites will open once again on Thursday. There will be more than 65 vaccination stations there in foreign language and sign language interpreters. Between 250 and 500 appointments will be available for the several days for the first one, with plans to provide up to 2,000 vaccinations a day in early March. Now, this comes as 860 new coronavirus cases are reported in Maryland. 18 fewer people are in the hospital. The positivity rate continues to drop. The Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine meets the requirements for emergency use authorization that is according to the FDA. The one-shot vaccine is being called a game changer by Governor Larry Hogan, and it's being here in Baltimore. There are still several steps Johnson & Johnson had to go through before the vaccine is made available, including a review by an independent group of FDA advisors. The group set to meet on Friday and is expected to make a recommendation on whether the vaccine should be authorized. The next mass vaccination sites will open tomorrow at M&T Bank Stadium. Registrations is now open, but all available appointments as of right now have been filled. Only 250 once again to 500 appointments once again are scheduled for the first few days. There are plans to increase that number to 2,000 by early March. And finally, nearly every school systems in Maryland will move to hybrid in-person learning models on Monday. Everyone over the age of 5 will be required to wear masks in the classroom, hallways, and cafeterias. Governor Hogan promised rapid COVID-19 tests and an unlimited supplies of PPE for schools. "976 new cases have been reported in the last 24 hours in Maryland. Hospitalizations remain under 1,000, and the positivity test rate dropped down once again. It's now at 3.74%. Now, the new vaccination sites at the M&T Bank Stadium are now open. Governor Hogan is taking a tour at the location. Vaccine advisors in the U.S., the Food and the Drug Administration will meet tomorrow. They will discuss recommend Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine for emergency use authorization. The FDA says new single-shot vaccine is safe and effective. If approved, our stages could get 40,000 doses by next week. Maryland has reported 970 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, bringing the state total to 380,000. Hospitalizations and the positivity rate, however, continue to trend downward. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has visited Calvert County Elementary School. It had reopened to students and staff. Plus, the FDA advisors are expected to approve Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. This is the last step before the FDA formally grant authorization for the vaccine. It's made here in Baltimore and only requires 1 dose. So 336 more people have been tested positive for the COVID-19 on the weekend. Still, the hospitalizations and the positive tests continue to drop down. In Maryland, just learned in moments ago that the FDA approved the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine for emergency use. So the vaccine, which is made once again in Baltimore, has been called a game changer because it only requires a 1 single dose. The shot is overall slightly less effective than the Moderna and Pfizer shots, but shows 85% efficacy against severe illness and complete protection against the COVID-19 deaths. Shipments of the vaccine could begin as early as Monday, and in Maryland could get 40,000 doses by next week. Johnson & Johnson expects to provide 20 million doses by the end of March. If you like to look at the coronavirus in the state of Maryland and you live in Maryland, whether if you're in Cecil, Hartford, Baltimore, or any counties, log on to their Maryland's link at coronavirus.maryland.gov. Click it.